It also turns into a podcast too. That's one of my favorite things is to repurpose content because there's so many things you can do with it after a virtual summit or any long form content like this. This show is in about an hour or 45 minutes to an hour. There's so much stuff you can do with it after it's over. So when you get this recording, feel free to use it as you want, as blog posts, as snippets on social media, ebooks. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Welcome. Let's see. Maya has an interest in hosting a virtual summit, but she hasn't hosted one yet. She's been in Toastmasters. She's preparing to be a speaker, and she's getting on as many stages as possible to make that come true. That's why she's here today, because I offered a stage and she raised her hand and says, yes, I'm available. So I'm going to ask her a few things about hosting a virtual summit, and you all can chip in and ask your questions also. Okay, Maya, have you been to a virtual summit before?
Firstly, thank you so much, Erica, again for having me on your show. And good morning from the eastern part of the US to everyone around the world. I have been to some virtual summits before, and my experiences of them in general has been very revealing, because although we're not in person, there's still tidbits from a virtual summit that anyone can take away from. Mostly it's just how prepared and how organized all the presenters have been. My virtual summit that I'm actually going to right now is the Toastmasters convention, which for the past 2 years has been virtual because of what we're in right now, of course, with COVID. But even in these presentations, I've really appreciated just the content one can learn from so many people, just average Joes and Janes like us to more experienced, more credible people. It's been wonderful just hearing them and hearing the wisdom and learning from them as well. Mostly my experience then has been going to the Toastmasters convention.
Is the Toastmaster convention your favorite online event you've attended?
It's one of my favorites for sure, I will say. I have been to previous ones. This was before the pandemic, obviously. Some local organizations I've gone to decided to go virtual for the summit. And so just informational presentations about healthcare, about writing, about various topics I've been to in the past, with seasoned professionals who have spoken on topics that makes us all grow, I think, and all of us learn about interesting topics that we may not have known before.
Yeah. So which virtual summit has been your absolute favorite? Hands down, there's nothing else better.
Absolutely. On Facebook, I can think of another summit I've gone to, and the gentleman's name has briefly left me, but it's just about personal encouragement, personal motivation on his summit. And especially he began the summit at the start of the pandemic, and just having us rise from where we are and to achieve the best and be the best that we can be. The gentleman's name, now I'm remembering, is Mr. Pete Vargas. And his global summit on Facebook that I'm thinking of too has been very inspiring, very thought-provoking as well. And that summit has brought on actual industry leaders, of course, and learning from them has been wonderful. So it is humbling learning from actual industry leaders, and then the regular Janes and Joes that all of us can be too. So learning from everyone has been very inspirational and motivational.
So that event was hosted on Facebook. So it was a free event?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And it was very engaging. You felt like you learned a lot.
Yes. Yep.
And you said it was hosted by an industry leader. So someone who you, in your mind, consider to be a thought leader, right?
Correct.
What was it about that event? Was it the engagement, or was it the platform that you were used to that made you say, this is a great event? Was it the interaction?
It was mostly engagement and interaction from these wonderful speakers to us, who would bring on many actual industry leaders in their professions, and that was very inspiring also, and very fun at the same time. I remember one speaker, I'm not remembering her name, but also a industry leader. She made the presentation so engaging, so interactive for all of us, that I was jumping out from my seat actually during the talk. Her in particular I'm thinking of, but in general, yes. And there would be engagement from all of us from Facebook. We would type in our responses, the chat window going crazy all throughout. But
Just about to ask, could you explain the engagement? But there was a lot of typing, a lot of emojis.
Yes.
Yes. All right. How many speakers would you say that summit had?
That summit had a good number of speakers throughout the presentation. I would estimate over 20 people. Over 20 speakers came and presented, as well as the other one, and I'll also reference this Toastmasters convention too, that I'm in right now. It also has over 20 speakers. So both presentations also had that sense of engagement, type chat window going crazy with emojis and typing. So
20 speakers on Facebook. They're all showing presentations. They all got you to be engaged in the chat, got you to be very excited. Are you interested in hosting an event like that on Facebook with 20 speakers or more?
Absolutely. Yes,
all doing
it's
presentations.
definitely my goal.
Okay, understand. So what topic have you chosen for yourself, or if any? I know you do a lot with writing and speaking. So anything around that?
Yeah, and it would be well encompassing as well. Just basically information that can help us as people survive and thrive in not only a COVID environment, but also after post-COVID. Areas of healthcare, areas of writing and literature, areas of finance, banking, areas of leadership, and communicating effectively. My talk would be all encompassing. I realized that I think from Words of Wisdom, it's been said that we focus on one particular subject, but I think all subjects are very valid and very encompassing. It can help us be those well-rounded individuals that we can be. So for me personally, I know that a topic I can get more familiar with is computer literacy and computer science, and that whole realm of computer science, software engineering, and all of that, as that field has taken off, obviously, and it's still taking off with new technology. So familiarizing ourselves with areas of computer science, artificial intelligence, AI technology, getting our feet wet with that topic, as well as other topics. My passion is around healthcare, so obviously also around healthcare and sciences and the STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, those subjects, those real life, realistic topics, as well as focusing on the arts as well. So writing, B2, areas relating in the arts.
All right. So I am going to say pick one. I'm not going to say stick with that forever. I'm going to say pick one first. Splinter that. Let's say you chose healthcare first. What is it about? Like, let's pick five subtopics of healthcare. Pick five of those, and you pick speakers that will match those subtopics of healthcare. Let's say you want to work with pregnant women. Let's say you want to work with pregnant women of color, of let's see, with sickle cell or something like that, or anemia, something like that. Yeah, so you pick your category, healthcare. You pick your five subcategories, and then you go after your speakers. How would you pick your speakers?
Thank you. So looking at healthcare in general as an organization, there are obviously conditions like sickle cell anemia and various other topics. And also we focused on a particular branch of medicine, but just basically we have what we study, it's what physicians study and what we get affected by, obviously. So though that general subject, then there's also the subject of education. I think within the healthcare fields, most of it centers around, from my understanding, obviously science, but also math has a lot to do with treatment and studying case reviews and practicing.
Yeah.
So then it's a recap. We have the conditions associated with medicine. We have math associated with medicine. Forever it's with, I think leadership is also a very important aspect of medicine, looking at that in general and looking at where we can go within leadership and how leadership could be more effective within healthcare and medicine.
Okay.
We have new advances in medicine as well. So focusing maybe on engineering, but just stem cell research and more innovative means for healthcare research. So looking at new advances of healthcare. And then finally, for the fifth topic, I would just look on personal self-care. As physicians, as workers within healthcare, it can be a stressful life. So just making sure that ourselves are in balance so that we can provide the best care to others, best decision making with others, I think would be important as well.
Yeah. If you're happy at work. If you're happy at work, you'll do a better job. If you're doing a better job, you're taking care of your patients.
Correct.
I can see that. So we got self-health care for physicians. We've got what was it? Statistics
Yes,
in healthcare.
math
Um, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
education, general math education.
Okay. And what was the other three? Was it? Yeah, what was the other?
Yeah, one was general. I mean, of course, it's a huge topic in itself, but just illnesses that we deal with. Illnesses and just seeing what the various illnesses and what bodily ailments there are. Then the other one is healthcare administration, leadership within healthcare, what we look for in that.
Okay. All
And
right. Yeah, what was the last one?
and the fifth one was new advances in healthcare, all the new advances.
Okay. So we wrote all those down. And do you have people in mind for all of those topics?
Not specific people, but I'm sure there are people everywhere that can speak on these issues.
Yeah. So I would like to recommend if you find some health care podcasts, or if you go to Amazon and you go to their bestsellers and you type in healthcare and you look for those authors, you can find your 20 speakers. I like to say that if you find people with a list of 8,000 or more, you will ask them to promote, but you would ask them if they have the time, energy, and willingness to promote themselves being a part of your event, at least 3 days the week of your event. So, it's really not the list size, it's really their open rates. Because if they email their list and they got 8,000 on there and they're not getting open, it's really nobody on their list. So I do like an open rate of 30%. I say that because I have an open rate of 34%. Sometimes that can also be difficult. But yeah, open rates are very important. So you got podcasts, you got the Amazon bestsellers books, you got other YouTube shows, live stream shows about healthcare. You can research blog posts about healthcare, and find your subtopics on healthcare and ask those people if they would have the time, energy, and willingness to promote themselves talking about their topic on your event, because you want to provide them with the platform to showcase their knowledge.
Okay.
So it is illegal in most places to share your list with anybody else. So you ask them if they have an opt-in or a free gift or a lead magnet that they can share with an audience of people who are interested in healthcare. And if they do, you will provide that to the audience. And that way, if your audience is interested in hearing more from that speaker, they can self-select and give them their email address. As long as you're not doing it, they can do it themselves. Don't want you to get in any trouble.
Yeah.
So after you get your speakers, you want to turn to sponsors. If you're interested in sponsors, you could also ask your speakers if they want to pay to be a part of your event. But who would you think would be a perfect fit for sponsors for a healthcare summit?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. I'm thinking insurance companies.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. So health insurance, like Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue Cross Blue Shield has a lot of sub people underneath them, like Anthem and Anthem North and South Carolina. I only know that because I live here. But yeah, any other like healthcare apps might be interested. Who else? People who make things for stress, because stress causes a lot of health problems.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you'll find if you want 20 speakers, I'm gonna say try to talk to at least 5 sponsors. And when you have your list of your top 5 sponsors, before you reach out to them, you just make your list right now. But before you reach out to them, you should Google top 10 marketing strategies for what is it? Now I'm drawing a blank. It's top 10 marketing strategies for online marketing or social media strategies. On top 10 strategies for marketing. And then that's what you offer to your sponsors. So like if Blue Cross Blue Shield wanted to be a sponsor, you would offer a package like you would have your screens, and everyone who's working with you would have Blue Cross Blue Shield. You would offer them maybe a speaking spot. You would say that they're allowed to give out swag. So, I found this out last week with your swag. It could be an envelope, And inside that envelope, it could be other envelopes, and they could be numbers. And like if you have like a bingo wheel and you pull out a number, and they would pull out a number from their cards. And it's like, you get to win this prize because it corresponds with the prize number. Something like that. Clean and simple. And it the shipping doesn't cost that much because it's envelopes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a neat swag box. But you can also have like a regular box. I can't show you my box now because my green screen's on, but you can have just a box of hats or water bottles, pens, Post-it notes. If you do something like that, do have like a physical box with stuff in it. Make sure it's English is hard. It has a purpose. Make sure everything in the box has a purpose. Like if you're having a bad hair day, there's a hat in the box, cover up your hair, be on live. You need to take notes. We have a notebook. We have a pen for you. Don't go off looking for pen and paper. Stuff like that. You're thirsty. We have a water bottle. Yeah. Stay in your seat. Be engaged. Let's see what else. Oh, are you planning to have an upsell for your event? Like people, your attendees will come to your event. They will hear your 20 great speakers, sit through their awesome presentations, see all your sponsors, what your sponsors are offering. But you yourself, this event is for you to build your own list, to be associated with influencers in your field. What do you want this event to do for you?
For me, I would want this event to just bring more awareness of topics. I would definitely want to highlight my awesome training speakers on the stuff they worked hard to be where they are. So I would definitely want to highlight their talent and expertise on these fields. Mainly personal satisfaction for doing this kind of thing. And of course, at the very end of the spectrum, yeah, I would want to have an income from it, but mostly it would be for highlighting my awesome training speakers and the expertise and careers. We want that, as well as general awareness that we can take away also.
So your event is free?
My event would be both, I think. Come to think of it, it would be both. Starting out, maybe it would be free, but also have eventually have some sort of an income.
Okay.
Attached
No,
to
it's
it.
nothing wrong with having a free event. It's just that sometimes people don't show up because things are free.
Sure.
I like to suggest that you start off with $97 to get people in the door. And if you did have an upsell for, let's say you have a VIP package where you want people to come in, and if you want them to be able to talk to the speakers or talk to each other, then they would have to pay $197, and the $197 would give them that that swag envelope with the prizes. If you're doing it, let's see, you want to do it Facebook. If you wanted to upgrade with that $97 in the swag box, you could move them to Zoom, like have like the first hour or first 30 minutes on Facebook. And then for the VIP people, you move them on to Zoom or whichever platform you like, where they can go out into breakout rooms and interact with each other. See, but if you did have an upsell where people could spend more time with you, that would be valuable. I would like to suggest that that be a high ticket offer, because one-on-one time with you or group coaching with you would be expensive because you're giving your time, your energy, your knowledge. So anything that's 6,000 or more would be a high ticket offer. And you could also invite more speakers on. If you say spending time with you would be 6 months or to a year, 6 months to a year. Like in your group coaching or one-on-one, let's say if you do it, you could meet one-on-one with you once a month. the other time they could meet with one of the other speakers, and the next week they could do like a little workshop on stress management or leadership, whatever the topics were for the event. Let's say 3 months later, you have another event, and you can offer them a free ticket to the next event.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that?
I'm sure, yeah, I would have to, I think, rewind this broadcast and just listen to it again and just the aspects, but you are making sense.
Right. So if you did bring on people and they did have like offers that you were okay with them offering to your audience, ask for an affiliate link, so that way you could get commission on that too. There's plenty of ways to make your money through tickets. You're not going to get rich off tickets. Affiliate links, you're not going to get rich off affiliate links. Your real money is going to come from either your upsell or sponsors. So minimum buy-in for a sponsor is about 5,000.
Okay.
But you make sure when you have your list of the top 10 marketing strategies, top 10 online marketing strategies, you offer that list and you tell them that they can pick and choose, but they can't go below that price. And you're willing to make it a la carte, and you can add on whatever they want it, but it's going to cost extra, but you can't go below that minimum buy-in.
Okay.
So, okay. So I guess thinking, have you decided when you might host an event?
So thanks for the question. I have not, to be honest, but I would definitely say that thinking about just turning it in my head a little bit, I think next year, I will definitely be looking at next year, mid to late next year, maybe.
Why next year? And why that far off?
Just conceptualizing everything. I would think as a newbie, I would have to think of a lot of situations and have to really act on everything that we're doing right now. And in fact, in general, I am that type of person, hard hitter. So as we're talking, I'm also taking notes of the things that I have. This topic really it's coming to the forefront of my mind really now. So just conceptualizing and taking notes and just seeing how I can really attack this and how I can attack this and it being a very good product that I can deliver to everyone. I think that's the time. That's how I'm proposing next year, late next year. However, things can also happen and I can also be motivated. Definitely, I thank you for the motivation also in thinking about this. So, I mean, why not start now? Start now can also be something I can think of and start to conceptualize too.
Okay, I get it. Just wondering if you were scared, because I want you to know, hosting a virtual event, it's fun. I love it. I get a lot of energy from helping others put theirs on. I mean, Zoom and Facebook, they both, well, up to a certain point, they're both are free. If you want to have like 1,000 people, you might have to pay a little more for Zoom, but it's worth it with a high ticket offer. So like when I invited you here to speak, you praised me on my automation. You didn't know it was automation, but when it prompted you or reminded you that you had a speaking engagement 30 days away, and then 7 days away, and then an hour, You can send those out too. I use a program called Book Like a Boss to get my speakers to let them know about the event, to let them know that it's time for them to promote. It's time for them to be live with me. One of the things about Book Like a Boss that you can ask people if they have the time and energy and willingness to promote themselves before you invite them. I mean, if they say no, you don't have to let them in unless you just like really love them and you want them to be a part of your event. But people who you have on your event is going to also represent your event, therefore representing you. So don't be ashamed or scared to tell people no if they're not willing to help. But Book Like a Boss. I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely too. I wanted to mention on a personal note too. I know that when you sent me these reminders, you also mentioned 3 days out, do you want to promote myself? And I actually did say no. So I furthermore thank you for your time and letting me on today. I didn't know the wisdom behind it. So definitely I will for next time pay it forward. And for next time, I will absolutely emphasize the mugging beforehand as well. So furthermore, thank you for your time, Erica, too.
Happy. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad we got to talk about a walkthrough of a possibility of a healthcare summit.
Yeah.
So after I use Book Like a Boss, I usually use Hey Summit to set my events up. But if you want to use Facebook, Facebook has a creator studio. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. No.
It's pretty spiffy. If you wanted to set up a series, it's great. So I would recommend when you're doing your pre-interviews, if you could ask your speakers, why would someone come listen to your presentation? Why would someone come watch your presentation? And you take that snippet and you put it on that series for Facebook and you let it go out. But
Okay.
you can also put it other places, LinkedIn, Twitter, all that other stuff. But like 1 minute, 1 minute and 30 seconds is really good for Facebook. 2 minutes is usually the max for other places, but you want to keep it short, like real quick and simple. Why would Susie come watch your presentation? What's special about you in this presentation? Why does she need to hear it? Stuff like that.
Understood. Yeah. The elevator speech. Elevator pitch, the classic elevator pitch.
Yes. So, you can host these on YouTube. You can make them unlisted. If you're using Book Like a Boss, you can put YouTube clips on there. You can put same YouTube clips on Facebook. I would definitely recommend using the Facebook events as a reminder and get people signed up, and email your list if you have one. But if not, the summit is definitely going to get you to build a list. And if you're going to do a bunch of different stuff, not just healthcare, I would suggest that you tag your list, because when people send me stuff about cryptocurrency, I'm not interested and I'll unsubscribe. So when you tag your list, make sure you write what they signed up for, healthcare, not cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have an autoresponder?
I don't.
Well, I'm a big fan
Just because, just because of I like to personalize everything, but at the same time, sending out 1,000 personal notes could be a bit too much. So yeah. But no, I don't have an autoresponder.
Well, I'm a big fan of SendFox because it's free. But if you want to buy it, it's $49, and it's a lifetime deal right now on AppSumo.
Okay.
So you can definitely tag your list or segment your list.
Okay.
So let's see, that's with your speakers and your audience. Yeah, be sure to send out reminders to your speakers that they said that they would promote. Affiliates, you can offer your speakers affiliates also. I recommend 50% or more. 50% is really good. 50% will get people, let's say your first ticket price is $97 and they get 50% of that. The other upsell is yours, and your high ticket offered is also yours. So don't worry about making money from your tickets, because your money's going to come from somewhere else.
Okay.
So if you did want to offer something free before your event, I would suggest a webinar, like a 1 hour talk, and do that everywhere you can.
Okay.
Let's see, if you could have a gift giveaway, say you did something on stress, how stress affects leadership, stress affects health, stress affects the work you do at your job, stress affects your emotions, stuff like that. If you had like an ebook or a blog post, something that you could say, hey, I have this free gift for you. When you sign up, you automatically get this, or you can use that a part of your webinar before the event.
Okay.
So also with your, what is it, your if you did decide to do a swag box, think of useful things that would be in there. Ask your sponsors if they could offer useful things, because if they're not useful, they're just gonna sit and collect dust and maybe just pile up.
Yeah, I do have a question actually. I went to a, and would this require a lot of creativity, or how would this feel? I went to a career fair before, and I did stop by a health fair booth, and they were giving out pens, but pens in the form of a spine, because it was a chiropractor's office. So would that be useful and creative and a small investment to have like spine pens, spine like
It
pens?
would make me think of a chiropractor. It would probably remind me where I got it from. If it worked, if it wrote really well and I loved it, yeah, that would definitely make me think of you. So what is it about your healthcare summit that you could think of that would be nice in a box or in an envelope that you would want to give away? Like that you would want your attendees to say, I remember hanging out with Maya for like 8 hours that day and I got this.
Yeah, so those spine pens, spine like pens, I like. I think stress balls. I like stress balls, and I have gotten stress balls in the past in the shape of a brain, so a brain stress ball.
All right.
Yeah, and just pen and paper, notepads and pens and paper. I think I like the idea of the water bottle too. Yeah, but creative stuff. So I like the spine pens again and the brain stress balls, but definitely like pens and paper and a water bottle. I think. I think those 5 maybe.
Okay, so you want 5 items in your box? Your favorite number 5?
Do you recommend more? I mean, should there be more though?
If you're interested in it, if that's something you like and it's something that you think would be helpful and beneficial to your audience, then yes, put it in there.
Okay.
So like let's say the name of your event is the stress of health, the stress of good health, whatever. You're going to have all of these 5 topics that goes with that theme, and like the 5 topics you said before, and you're going to put stuff in that box that would help with the stress of health, the stress of good health, like something for leadership. What would make something with good leadership? A pen and paper would, because taking good notes would help. If you're well hydrated, the more water you have in your system, the more your electrodes fire to get you thinking faster. Like have a
Okay.
reason for the things in the box. And when you're on and you're presenting people the box, let them know what things are used for. Let them know why they should have their water bottle filled. Let them know what a stress ball does for them. Doesn't it slow down blood pressure or something like that?
Yes.
So yeah, let them know what it's used for. So you would take out
Okay.
everything from that box and you would show it and you would demonstrate it and let them know what it's for. And if it was donated from one of your sponsors, definitely say this was donated by whoever sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. And that's wise actually. So yeah, like I discussed those 5 topics before. So for those 5 topics, represent them with strag. Like leadership is that pen and paper. No pad and no pad and writing utensil. Doesn't matter actually if it's a pen or pencil. Like, and maybe I'm getting too fine in detail, but would there be a difference between giving away a pen or a pencil?
Yeah. I mean, it could have the name of the event on there. It could have the name of your sponsors. I have this pen here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's from 5 Star Today, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. But it's one of my favorite pens. So
Okay.
because it writes well and it's pretty slick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So just make sure things have a reason for being in the box. Make sure you demonstrate it and tell what it's for. Yeah. So what else? We've got speaker outreach. We got affiliates, and I told you could give out affiliate links yourself. Hey Summit is really good for using affiliates links, and you can also embed your Facebook into that program if you wanted to. But in Facebook, if you started a group for this, you can do everything inside of that group.
Okay.
So you can host your event in there. If you decided to move the paid people onto Zoom, you can also do that from Facebook by dropping the link.
Okay.
So for all of your speakers, you can make an announcement to say who's your speaker. Your speakers can also interact in that group. So anything to promote what's going on in the summit. If you're in that group, you can do highlights from that day, like however long. How long do you think your event will last? Will it be 1 day? Will it be 3 days?
I definitely have seen events last more than a day. The gentleman I mentioned who had his virtual summit, Mr. Vargas, he had his, I think it was for 100 days. The Toastmasters convention, it's for a week. I've also heard of 8-day summits and dates in between too. So I would think, because it can be, I know for me it can be excessive having more days. So maybe sweet number would be maybe a 5-day thing, like you mentioned.
I would recommend 1 or 3. You can do a 5. The thing is that you want to get people, let's see, happy to be with you, but scared that you're going to leave them soon.
Okay. That
Like
makes sense.
hanging out with Maya was so cool. I've learned so much, and she's going to go away soon. So I need to buy into her upsell so I can hang out with her more and get all of her valuable information.
Okay.
But if you have the group, you can always drop in and leave comments or leave them a video about that subject. Because if you're doing a lot of different subjects, you're probably going to have a lot of different groups if you're using Facebook.
Okay.
But I want to caution you on using somebody else's platform. They can say, hey, Maya, we don't want you here anymore, and then turn all your stuff off. So it'd be good if you had like a website or if you had your own membership platform.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not deferring you from using Facebook. You can use
No,
it. Just know that sometimes they just turn people's stuff off.
I understand that. Yeah. And in general, like being more self-aligned for things, I think it's good too.
Okay. So would you ask your speakers to pay to be a part of your event or no?
I think if I did have a pay structure in place, it would be for attendees. My speakers, I think, would be for free.
Okay. That's not a bad thing. Just know that you are giving them a stage to speak on and you're giving them advertising.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Duly noted also. Duly
So
noted at the time. Yeah, I want to respect them.
okay. A pay structure for speakers can also be an incentive for them to show up. You can always offer it back. It's like, I just wanted to make sure you was going to show up today, especially if your event is live. So if they don't show up, you keep it. If they do show up, you're like, thanks for showing up. Here's a refund. So.
That's good. Okay. We'll keep that in mind.
Do you have any other questions?
I think the only question, and that's really for me actually, it's really getting behind this and thinking about what I would do and implementing this too. So thank you so much. So no, I don't have. I'm not thinking of other questions other than, but what we highlighted today was topic, definitely being focused on a topic, speakers, and then the logistical area of hosting this kind of thing, location, time, effort, place. So yeah, I think we covered. Unless we're forgetting anything too.
No, you're not forgetting. You got it pretty good. We've got categories and we got 5 topics. You got 20 speakers for each of those 5 topics. You got a swag box or an envelope that's going to have something to do with your topics and categories. You're going to explain those things while they're in the box and while they were given out to that particular audience. You're going to have sponsors and they're going to correspond with your topics. They're going to have something to do with that event that's going to help you promote that event. Let's see. And you've got a way to present your summit. You're going to use Facebook, maybe even Zoom if you did want to charge for it. Well, yeah, that is about it.
Wow.
You can do all this within 3 months.
Okay, I will put that in. I will make that goal.
Are you going to host a healthcare summit in 3 months?
I'll see where I am after 3 months. But I mean, and for purpose, so I am a procrastinator. I will admit I'm a procrastinator, but no, in this case, I will not be a procrastinator. It's just conceptualizing everything. So maybe it can be doable in 3 months. I will set myself to it actually and see what.
Never say I am and then say something bad. Only say I am and then say something good about yourself.
Oh, okay. Oh,
because it'll come true then.
That's positive thinking, positive affirmations and thinking. So absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're a part of Coaches Host Engaging and Profitable Virtual Summits, there are people in a group who are willing to help you. There are people in this group who are experts, people in this group who have hosted plenty of summits before. You need help, people will be here for you. You just got to ask and willing to receive the help. If the suggestions don't resonate with you, you don't have to take the suggestion. Remember, it's your event and it's a representation of you. So you can say yay or nay to anything, but people are here to help, and you just got to be willing to take it.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's my biggest thing. I have to ask. I don't usually ask for help, so it'll be something good learning.
I'm still learning myself.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to lend my name out to someone I don't know, someone who told me that they could do something, and it really hurts my feelings when they told me they could do something and it turns out they can't.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm still working on it, but I'm slowly learning, and I understand.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, Maya, is close to an hour now, and I hope I have somewhat helped you get an idea of hosting a virtual summit. I really do hope that you consider hosting one 3 days or 1 day event within 3 to 6 months time. And seriously, need help, just ask.
I will do so. And thank you so much again for your time, Erica. So you were extremely helpful for me. Now it's my turn to really pump it up and see what I can do with these topics. And for sure, I'll be reaching out to you in the community should I have any questions at all.
Hooray. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, Maya.
Thank you for yours, Erica.